So, more of the same from me today. It's kind of been prompted by this bike here, which is a super entry level road bike with a 9-speed Sora group set on it. And I was just looking at the shifting on this Sora and how good it is and just how well this bike works. And it just reinforces my point. Just stop chasing the latest industry trends. There's just no need for it. Find a bike that does what you need it to do and just use it. Don't look in the magazines, don't look at the latest and greatest in the reviews and you know, other people's opinions on what's obsolete. I saw somebody had written the other day in an online article that rim brakes were dangerous, which is just ridiculous. I mean, plenty of us rode rim brakes for decades in all weathers, and a set of Ultegra rim brakes is a massively effective way of stopping a bike, obviously less so in the wet. But how many people, you know, unless you're commuting and that kind of thing, then you're not, you know, how many people ride in the wet? And also, when you're commuting, you're not flat out pushing for Strava segments and things, at least most people aren't. So rim brakes will do the job, but it's just one of those things where as soon as something new comes out, like discs are the thing now, obviously, everything that hasn't got discs must be useless, and it's just not true. And it puts people off buying some really good bargain bikes, because the rim brake bikes at the moment that are on offer, because they're not on trend, the deals you can get are fantastic. But yeah, just going back to my point, just using the 9-speed Sora on this, which is a really low-end Shimano group set, and everything about it is great. The ergonomics of the levers is like the old style 105. The shifting is crisp. It feels like a 9-speed 105. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's an 1132 cassette, 5034 rings on the front. It's just a perfectly usable bike. There's just no need to keep following all these changes and trends all the time when things, I mean, electronic gearing, all that kind of thing. I've said it before, I know. Nobody needs it. It's nice to have, but don't be scared to just ride what you've got. Nobody cares what you're riding. Nobody cares whether you've got this year's latest one by group set or last year's, or whether you've got 10 gears or you've got 13 gears. Nobody cares. You know, when you're out on the trail, you just ride what you've got. Everything still works. 26-inch bikes still work. All these things we're being told now are redundant and outmoded and old-fashioned, and rim brakes are dangerous and all this kind of thing. It's just absolute nonsense. So do not chase the latest and the greatest all the time. Find a bike that does what you need it to do, to the standards you need it to be done, and just use it. This bike is a fantastic bike. It's bottom end components, and it's just absolutely tremendous thing. I'm so impressed by it. And a lot of the bikes I ride, I still ride 26-inch bikes. You know, you can ride a trail on a 26-inch bike, you won't die. Obviously it's easier on a bike with the latest 160mm travel and slack geometry and all that, but please stop chasing these industry trends, because there'll be a new one every single year and you're never going to keep up. All your 13-speed stuff in 2 years time, there's going to be a reason why it's outdated, and then eventually 1x will fall out of favor and there'll be a comeback of 2x and the front mech, and everything comes back around. So you just got to find that bike that does what you need it to do now and just use it, and it's probably the bike you've already got sitting in your shed.